Hello and welcome to Radical Living. I'm your host, Shoeless Joe, and today we are talking about the shackles of debt. When I graduated high school, I decided to go to college. And I decided to pay for college by taking out student loans. Which basically means I borrowed tons of money from lenders and had no way of knowing if I'd ever be able to pay it back. Seems like a great idea, don't it? So now a huge percentage of my income goes to simply paying back those loans. The only other debt that my wife and I have is this house, which seems a lot more substantial than the piece of paper I got from college. And besides, at any point I can just sell this house. If only I could sell my bachelor's degree. Anyone want to buy a Bachelor of Arts in Drama and English? All you have to do is sell your soul. Once I became a minimalist and got into intentional living and started really living radically, I quickly realized that I never should have gotten into debt in the first place, and I need to get out of debt as quickly as possible. Someone turned me on to this great financial blogger called Mr. Money Mustache. Many of you probably heard of him. Mr. Money Mustache says that being in debt is an emergency, and that we don't see it as one, but it is. We need to get out of debt as quickly as possible. When you're in debt to someone, to anyone, to a financial institution, to family, to friends, to Obama, I don't know. When you're in debt, you're literally enslaved to someone. Like, they kind of own you in a way. And yet for some reason the American culture has just adopted this sense of like, this idea of good debt and that it's okay to be in debt. You should get student loans, you should take out a mortgage, it's all fine. Fine. Well, it's not fine, okay? I want the freedom to be able to switch jobs or to move and not have to worry about how am I going to pay off all these loans. Like growing up, you think that your parents own the house that you live in, only to find out when you get older they didn't own it. The whole time they were still paying off the debt. Like that's crazy to grow up in a house that your parents just don't own, but someone owns them because they tried to buy the house. Kind of messed up. In his book, Walden on Wheels, Ken Ilgunis says that he thought of his debt as like a foe to be conquered, like this horrible monster or something that he needed to destroy. Oh, and I love that imagery. I love that idea of thinking of it as this horrible beast you need to slay. Like it's you against your debt, and nothing's gonna get in the way of you cutting it down. But the question is, what's the weapon? What weapon can you use to get out of debt? And the answer to that, of course, is making more money and spending less of it. I'm a visual person, so to motivate myself, I like to take a physical sort of representation of what's going on and put it into my real world. Which is why I got these. I bought these bracelets to represent the shackles of debt that I put myself in. One represents my mortgage and the other represents my student debt. You can't really see it very well, but I did carve a little house and a little graduation cap onto them. So now whenever I'm thinking about spending any extra money, I can just look at these and think, I'm shackled by debt. I do not have the right to spend the money that I don't have. Like, has anyone ever owed you money and then you saw on like Facebook or something that they like went out with friends or spent money in some way? And you're all like, dude, you owe me money. You're spending my money. Well, that's kind of what it's like in a huge way when you have tons of student debt or any other debt. And yet we just go along buying more things, spending money like it's not a problem. Well, it is a problem, so get used to it. And minimalism is the perfect weapon against debt. Because you can just start selling all your stuff and making some moolah. You sell your clothes, you sell your books, your DVDs, just find anything you can, furniture, sell it. And then stop buying things. Don't replace them with anything. Don't buy more things. I think most people would be amazed by how much more money they'd have if they would just stop spending like little money like going out to eat or buying stuff online. You'd probably make a lot more money than you realize. But debt can be super overwhelming. I know it is for me. So what you need to do is come up with a plan, come up with a budget, come up with maybe a side job. Everyone's situation is going to be different, but you have to figure out what you can do within your situation to make more money and to save more money. And then tackle that debt. Some of the best advice I can give you is to look up financial gurus, financial blogs on YouTube. and follow them. Immerse yourself in their message. That's the way you can keep the momentum going. It's really easy to be like, oh, I'm going to get out of debt, I'm going to sell this stuff and get another job and like, yeah. But very quickly, you just lose steam. You see your friends buying things, you want to go out to eat, and you just go back into your old habits. So I suggest following blogs like Mr. Money Mustache. Read books like Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. Go to YouTube and just start watching videos about getting out of debt. Because when you immerse yourself in the idea of getting out of debt and getting that freedom, ripping off those shackles, that's what's going to keep you going. Start going to the library instead of buying books. Don't buy clothes unless you need to, and if you do need to, go to a thrift store instead of a regular one. Don't eat out, ever, like ever. If friends want you to go out with them, bring a sack lunch with you. It's going to feel stupid at first, but if you tell everyone ahead of time and just play it off as a joke, people will go with it. Or often they will just feel bad for you and offer to pay for you. Cut your extra expenses. Don't pay for cable. Don't pay for magazine subscriptions. Lose the Netflix. Remember, this is an emergency and you are spending someone else's money. Like, you may think you need a data plan for your phone, but you probably don't. Just saying. If you live in the north, turn down your heat. If you live in the south, turn down your air conditioning. And if you live in the middle, I don't know, open a window? Go around your house hunting. What can I sell? What can I sell? You look like I can sell you. Community is so important when you're trying to get through something like this. And it's awesome that we can now find communities for support online. So that together, with our powers combined, we will get out of debt and save that money. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, keep it simple, question everything, and stay radical.
Don't double charge me for it.
Want to say bye-bye to the camera?
Bye-bye.
You look at it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.